Good morning, dear children. Today we are going to deal with Chapter 16 of our grammar textbook, Simple Future Tense. The last classes we were dealing with present tense, present continuous tense, past tense, and today it's about future tense. That means the actions which are going to take place in the future. Okay, now let's look at it. Verbs in simple future tense are used to express actions that will take place in the future. As I said earlier, in simple future tense, the verbs or action words are used to express the actions that will take place in the future. If you're planning to do something in the future, then those action words or verbs will be in simple future tense. Now let's look at the examples and you'll understand it more. I will do my homework. Okay, I will do my homework. So here mainly for future tense we use the word will. Okay, will is the word which is used to express future tense. Okay, so I will do my homework. So this action will take place in the future. Okay, it can be after 1 hour, it can be in the night, or it can be the next day, or maybe 2 days after. So it's the action will be happening in the future. Okay, now let's look at the next example. I will watch television after doing my homework. Okay, so this sentence is like you were doing the homework and you are telling that after doing the homework you will watch television. So you're watching television in the future. That means after 10 minutes or 20 minutes, whatever. So the action is happening in the future. So mainly one thing that you have to keep in mind is will is mainly used for future tense. So let's look at it. We use will before the root form of the verb. Okay, that is before the verb or the action word we'll use will. Look at the examples given here. Will play. Play is the verb and we have used will before play. Will read. Read is the verb and will is the we have used will before read. Will eat. Eat is the verb, root form of the verb, and we have used will before that. Will go. Go is the root form of the verb, and we have used will before that. So before the verb, we use will. Okay, will is always used for, that means will is almost used for making sentences in simple future tense. Okay, now the next point is, in case of negative sentences, we use will not plus root form of the verb. Okay, in the last slide we have told that we use will and then the root form of the verb. But in the case of negative sentences, we just add not. Will not plus root form of the verb. Let's look at the example given here. The tailor will stitch clothes for my mother. The tailor will stitch clothes for my mother. This is a sentence. It's a positive sentence. Okay. And which is in future tense. Now we are going to make the sentence into negative sentence. Look at the sentence given here. The tailor will not stitch clothes for my mother. So look at the difference. The first sentence we have will stitch and in the next sentence we have will not stitch. So we have already discussed in the last lessons that in negative sentences we use not. Yes or no? So in the case of future tense sentences we use will and will not. Okay, for making negative sentences we use not. The tailor will stitch clothes for my mother. The tailor will not stitch clothes for my mother. I hope you understood. Now let's go to the next point. In case of interrogative sentences, we put will before the subject and then use the root form of the verb. Interrogative sentences means the sentences, question sentences. Okay. In the case of question sentences, what we do is we start the sentence with will, okay, and then the subject or the whom we are talking about. Subject means the main, or the sentence is about whom, yes or no. So will, then the subject, and then the verb or action word, and then the rest of the sentence. That's how it comes. Look at the example here. This tailor will stitch clothes for my mother. This tailor will stitch clothes for my mother. This sentence we have changed into a question sentence. Look at this. Will this tailor stitch clothes for my mother? Will this tailor stitch clothes for my mother? So what happened is we have started the interrogative sentences with will. Then the subject, in this sentence the subject is this tailor. Okay, tailor is the subject of this sentence. That means we are talking about the tailor. The sentence is about the tailor. So tailor is the subject. So what happens is will. We started the sentences with will, then the subject, and then the verb. In the sentence, stitch is the verb, and then the rest of the sentence. Will this tailor stitch clothes for my mother? Question mark. Okay, I'll say it once again. For making interrogative sentence, what we do is we start the sentence with will, then the subject of the sentence, then the verb or the action word, then the rest of the sentence, and then question mark. This is how you make interrogative sentences. Now you have few exercises in the textbook. That's in page number 38 and 39. Please try to do the exercises and do it on your own, okay, so that you will understand it more, and you can check the answers after doing on your own, okay. And one more thing is that yeah, once again I will revise it. For making simple future tense sentences, in simple future tense we use will and then the root form of the verb or action word, and then for making negative sentences we use will not plus root form of the verb. And then for making interrogative sentences we start the sentence with will, then the subject, and then the verb or action word, then the rest of the sentence, and we end the sentence with a question mark. I hope you understood this. If you have any doubts, please feel free to ask, and we are here to help you all. And this is for now, and bye.